into something else, which is easy to do if you don't sort of keep an eye on your vision and what you're putting out there. But initially he started it because he thought it would actually provide women with a platform to really be free.
Yeah. And so then at a certain point you move on from Playboy. What happens there? Why do you decide to do that?
So many reasons. Yeah, first of all, I went into it with a goal that I felt like I wasn't getting out of it, especially after Hef wasn't as, like, I'd say the last year I was there, Hef wasn't as active. And Cooper came in and had a lot of ideas, but he wasn't empowered as much as maybe he could have been. And, it's the age-old story. We just wanted to be closer to family. And my career my whole life shifted. And I think once you have a child, the things that came out of my mouth before I had a child, it just changes everything. I really never thought that I would be the person I am today, to be honest.
So like living in the Midwest but do you like it? I mean, I find it so interesting how, you have this goal or something, that you grow up with, but it is weird how over time your goals and dreams change. And like, I would never imagine I'd be living in the middle of nowhere, desert USA, I mean, it's just weird. My whole life, all I ever wanted to do was make it to LA. And I could never have foreseen the day when I would have ever been ready to leave, So it's an interesting thing that happens to us.
Well, I feel like I don't know if I'm going to regret saying this, but I do feel like once I left New York, all bets were off anyway. Like my whole dream was to be in New York. And then once I started evolving as a human and like realized that there were other things I wanted to do, and it's such a big world. And I love the beauty of the Midwest. Like I know California is a gorgeous place because it's sunny all the time and people love the palm trees. But for me, the greenery and the rolling hills and the farms and being able to plant things, I don't know. It's like my life took this whole big circle. And now I'm in this space where really organic, down to earth things are so appealing to me, because of all this other stuff that I saw. And it's, sometimes we'll watch television now and we'll actually see Friends, someone who's doing like a reality show right now or whatever. And it seems like so far away and so not real. And I'm not interested in it.
Isn't that crazy?
I know, it's like, it seems, but it might seem boring to some people perhaps, because it's striving for that limelight and all these things. But I feel like our society has put such a heavy sort of, I just feel like there's such a need for people to be famous right now.
Yeah, everybody, we have like those influencers who were licking toilets when COVID came around just to get some attention. It's like, wow, that's where we are right now.
Yeah, I think when I was coming up, you were famous for being good at something, and now people are famous for being famous. And it just completely makes it unattractive to me, because I don't mind like being known for something that I'd be good at, or surrounded by people who are really creative people who, and that still exists, but it's just, I don't know, the whole like LA fame game to me, just, it became less appealing than I thought it might be when I got there.
Right. Totally. I get that. And so if there was to the young woman out there who might be listening and thinking, gosh, I'd really like to do what she did. What advice do you have for someone like that?
Do it for the right reasons. Like really look at what your goal is, like what you're looking to get out of it, what you're looking to feel when you're there, and go with your gut on what is right and wrong, and what is going to really have you look back and say, wow, that was a killer experience. Choose it for the right reasons, and that'll always take you on the right path.
That's good advice. I think a lot of times people take jobs for money, or things and then just feel very unfulfilled and don't understand why. And I think that's part of it, is because money will only take you so far. You really need to feel purpose. Otherwise, what's the point?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, you have to be happy with you, and there's a million jobs you kind of accept because someone else might be happy with
Yes,
you.
that is so true. There's a lot of pressure, I feel like, to do that. Yeah. Rebecca, you've been so generous. Thank you so much for your time. And well, I just can't thank you enough. Your stories are just fascinating. And I really appreciate getting to spend the time with you.
Likewise.
Wow, that was such a great conversation with Rebecca. And she dropped so many pearls of knowledge in there. But a couple key takeaways I thought were, once again, we heard this from Susan last week. Offer to help someone who's further along than you. Offer to serve them for free in exchange for learning the business. Rebecca said that was the greatest professional learning experience of her career. So I can't stress enough. And also, you build your network. You may find a mentor. There is so much value to that. Number 2, find a job that doesn't feel like work. And number 3, I love when she talked about motion makes motion. Even if you feel like you don't have anything going on, show up every day. Do the work, make the thing, whatever it is, because just doing that creates an energy which eventually begets work. So I thought that was a great piece of advice. I know you guys have a million podcasts you could listen to. I am so grateful that you chose to listen to mine, and you can view the show notes and links to all the stuff that was mentioned in the episode at my website, which is gxrlpod.com, girlpod.com. And if you enjoyed today's conversation, please consider subscribing to the podcast. Give us a review, maybe share it with someone who you think might enjoy it. We talked so much about Los Angeles in this episode. I thought it'd be fun to leave you guys with a song of mine that is about Los Angeles. It was recorded with my old band Bang Sugar Bang, and it's called She Tastes Like Sunshine. See you next time.